Verse 5, his mother said to the servants, do whatever he tells you. So yes, ultimately, she knew that we don't know, according to, later on we're going to read, according to these verses, this is like the first sign he's doing, the first miracle. But Mary, from the other Gospels, she knew, I mean, she was there at the birth, understandably. She saw the wise men coming. She kept all these sayings in her heart, all these things in her heart, like Jacob did years before. Okay, and so she, with Joseph's dreams, so she had clearly some kind of, just looking at Jesus and knew, and she knew that he's not an ordinary boy, and that he will be able to do this. So she had, in that sense, faith in him, and the right kind of faith. Seeing is not believing. She didn't see Jesus do any miracles yet, right? But she believed that he can. The wine is out. It doesn't seem like a big miracle, but she believed he can. And so in this verse, in verse 5, she told him, whatever he does, whatever he tells you, that do that. So it's a first example of seeing or not seeing is believing, which is a very important point that is ultimately going to be made. Verse 6. Now there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Right, so 6 jars for purification. So clearly they had enough water there. They expected enough guests. This is like about what, 1,000 liters of water or something like that. I forgot now exactly the amount, but it's a heck of a lot of water, and it's full, and it's for purification, for washing. So in other words, the kind of conclusion you can draw from that is that these people who were having the wedding, they were very religious people. They were not just, he didn't wash his hands enough and that's fine, kind of eat. No, they had a lot of water. The second thing the conclusion you can draw from here is that they expected, and lots of people did come. So they made sure they will have enough water for a lot of people. So there's not a few people coming and going. Right. So these are some of the things that the conclusions you can draw from this verse. Verse 7. Jesus said to the servants, fill the jars with water, and they fill them up to the brim. Okay. Mary told him in verse 5 that whatever Jesus told him, do. So here Jesus said, fill them up. Okay, we don't know at that stage. People most likely have been coming, going, washing, so there might not have been that many water left in the jars yet. But since they made sure to have so many, they would have made sure that they kind of keep them. They wouldn't let them run out and then go and get water again, and run out and then go and get water again. Clearly they made sure there's always water, but it would not have been full. Now Jesus is saying, fill them up to the brim. Why is this important? It's just because then we can clearly see it's not like there was just a little bit of water or at the bottom, just scraping the bottom kind of idea. These things, they all were full to the brim. Okay, here's our first little friend coming, a little monkey here. There's quite a number of them. Anyhow, and so this is why it's clearly stated, so that we exactly know that these things are full. Verse 8, and he said to them, now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast. So they took it. Now the interesting thing is, we don't, kind of logically it seems as when he said draw out and take to the master, then it kind of assumed that they drew from there, from these jars, right? But actually it does not state from where they did draw the water. It could have, I think R.C. Sproul said, it could have actually meant that they drew from the well itself. Okay, so they filled up those gallons with enough water so that the people can still wash themselves. And now they go to the well, and from the well they draw again water, and lo and behold, what now? So it is a very strong possibility. Since it's not stated in the verse, we just assume. Okay, we assume they fill. Jesus told them to fill this up, so we assume that therefore they took from these holders, these jars itself, and took two. But we don't know. Okay, it actually could have been, since it's left open, it could have been that he told them now to go to the well, because there's enough water for the purificationers to go to the well and then take from the well and take to the master. So in that sense, ultimately, it is not just the water in the jars that would change, but actually all the water in the well that was changed, which would be a bigger miracle. It's not as the other water, nearly 1,000 liters of water turned into wine is quite a miracle, but turning the whole well into wine, that would have been even a lot more. Okay, so they did all of this.